And welcome to another episode of Attack Wrap. Zach Scribner and Adrien Mouseeau. You can see it on your television screen there, joined by Captain Colby Barlow and Nolan Seed. Guys, how are you tonight?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing good. Well, we have a jam-filled episode here, but first let's go to some stuff around the league. We'll start out with the Attacks Player of the Week. Actually, it's the gentleman sitting beside us here. It's Colby Barlow. He earns the honor of the Attack Player of the Week for the third week of the season. Friday night, Barlow recorded his first career hat-trick versus the Kitchener Rangers, and then he followed that up with a game-winning goal in overtime Saturday versus the Windsor Spitfires and added a pair of assists. You see it there, 5 goals and 2 assists, I should say. To the OHL Player of the Week, it's New York Islanders prospect Matthew Maggio. He's the Coach-Co Player of the Week, recording 3 goals, 4 assists, and 7 points over 3 games, along with a plus-minus rating of +5. Maggio posted a goal and 2 assists, setting up Alex Christopoulos' OT winner on Thanksgiving Monday as the Spits defeated the Sioux 3-2. He proceeded to add 2 assists in Windsor's 6-3 win over Sarnia Friday, and he closed out the weekend here in Owen Sound with a pair of goals and a 5-4 overtime loss. Colorado Avalanche prospect Ivan Shigalov of the Kingston Frontenacs is the OHL goaltender of the week with 2 victories, a 1.50 goals against average, and a .952 save percentage, leading Kingston to an undefeated weekend at home. He stopped 29 of the 31 shots that came his way as the Fronts won 4-2 over Hamilton on Friday. The 6'3", 170-pound goalie continued to defend the crease against the Guelph Storm Saturday, stopping 30 of the 31 shots he faced in a 6-1 win. Let's now take a look at the OHL standings starting in the Western Conference. The Windsor Spitfires still haven't lost a game in regulation. They lead the West with 10 points, 2 ahead of the Midwest Division leaders, the Owen Sound Attack. Ton of credit to the Saginaw Spirit this year. They sit in third with 9 points, 1 ahead of the Sarnia Sting. The Sioux Greyhounds are 5th, 1 point ahead of Flint and the Erie Otters. 3 Midwest Division teams sitting at 8, 9, and 10. In the London Knights, the Guelph Storm, and the Kitchener Rangers. Fans, maybe enjoy those standings while you can there. 8, 9, and 10. Bryce Montgomery, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bryce Montgomery left the London Knights for the USHL today, but Logan Mailloux is expected to be back in the London lineup soon. And after acquiring OA goalie Marco Constantini in Kitchener, Philippe Machard was assigned to the Rangers this past weekend, so some Midwest Division teams making some big moves over the weekend. Let's turn to the Eastern Conference now. The Ottawa 67s remain perfect on the season, but they are tied with the Steelheads for the top spot in the conference. Kingston and Peterborough are tied for third with 9 points, 1 point ahead of Barrie and North Bay. Sudbury, Oshawa, and Niagara are tied for 7th with 7 points each, while the Bulldogs are last in the conference with 6 points. Let's take a look at the top 10 scoring in the Ontario Hockey League. Brendan Othman, Pavel Minchikov, and Ty Voigt are all tied with 13 points. David Goyette sits alone in 4th with 12 points, 1 ahead of Dean Locust, Connor Lockhart of the Peterborough Petes, and Jack Beck, who each have 11 points so far this season. 5 players have 10 points rounding out the top 10, including Luca Pinelli and Josh Bloom. Finally, let's take a look at the Attack's top 10 in scoring. You'll see 9 forwards and 1 defenseman on that list. 6 points in the last 3 games for Seti Gaindo has him in the top spot with 8 points on the year, 1 ahead of line mate Colby Barlow. Ethan Burrows is third with 6 points, 1 ahead of Denny Gura and Servac Petrovsky. 5 players tied for 6, including guests Nolan Seed and Gavin Bryant. And before we start the show, we want to extend a congratulations to Attack head coach Greg Walters, defenseman Braden Rogers, and 2022 first-round pick Ben Cormier. They'll all be playing for Canada Red at the U17 tournament. That tournament is set for November 3rd to 12th in BC.
Hey guys, you guys were just looking at the screen and you saw your plus minus, +7 and +6. Not bad. That's a pretty good start to the year, eh?
Love that.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Coach loves to see that. So, Colby, you had a busy summer, and it started with your one-on-one skates with you, Tristan Bertucci, and Coach Sean Tico. How was that?
Yeah, I've been skating with Sean for a while now, like coming on 3 years. So it's been good. You know, he pushed me to my limits, and big shooting guy, big in tight areas. So it was really good and beneficial this summer, and it has been for me in the past too.
Getting Colby Barlow to shoot the puck in training, that's got to be a good summer for you if you're shooting more than skating. So you mentioned you've been working with him for 3 years. He comes over to the Owen Sound Attack in replacement of Joey Hishin. What does he bring as an assistant coach to this team?
Yeah, Sean's a great guy, just as much as he's a great coach. He's a player's coach. You know, we have a great relationship with him. Every single kid on the team does. But when it's time to go, it's time to go. He holds us accountable, and he makes us better every single day.
Now, you mentioned a busy summer. You were on U18 for Team Canada. You scored 2 goals and added 3 assists. First off, how did you adjust to having a different role on that team, playing third, fourth line minutes, and getting some big time on the PK?
Yeah, it was good to learn, that kind of role and to adapt to it. Playing on the PK, it was a lot of fun with Barks, and it was a blast. And playing those minutes, you got to adapt because it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows, right? So it's just it was an opportunity, a blessing in disguise, and I took full fledged of it.
Now, two questions from me for you. Where's the gold medal? So where is it?
It's in a plaque or kind of like a vase for my jersey with it top, so it's kind of all put together.
And it's at your parents' house, I would assume?
Yeah.
That's
no, it's at his house.
Yeah. Just shows it off, brings it to the ring. And secondly, what would be one of the finest memories that you remember from that tournament?
Yeah, probably winning was pretty special. It's kind of the obvious one, but it's just so cool, finally saying you won a gold medal, especially for your country, and is honored to wear the Leaf. So it was a pretty special moment for sure.
Now let's add on to that. You win a gold medal, so you have the fun experience of winning. Now you're trying to do that here with the Owen Sound Attack, including Nolan Seed in his OA year. What do you think some steps are for a long run this season?
Yeah, it's staying healthy for sure and making sure we stick to our systems. We're a pretty structured team, and we got to make sure we're working hard every single night and sticking to what we know and what works for us. And that's, like I said, our D zone and our O zone and our neutral zone. It just all comes together, and it's going to be a big step for us this year to go far.
Now we've asked every member on the team this season, did you add weight or lose weight this summer?
Lost.
Lost how much?
I lost 6.5, 7 pounds.
Cedar?
I put on like 5 pounds.
Pure muscle.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I would assume, like, for you, it's a lot of that finally getting to work out and finally put on muscle, so you got to lose a little bit of that fat that you've had, that baby fat that you've had for your life, and then now you're, well, that's what it is, right? So,
yeah, for sure.
I had it too.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of 16-year-olds go through that, and so that was probably it. So the big question, we left last season, Nolan, with you. You were speaking of how great of a softball player you were, and you were undefeated going into the team barbecue. The fans want to know, they're all over us on Twitter. Did you win the tournament this year?
Of course. We won. Convincingly, too. And some would say I was probably the MVP of the tournament. I think.
We asked Denny Gould last week if you were the MVP. He said, not a chance.
I was watching that, and, obviously I have to disagree. Our team won at the end of the day. That's all I care about. But
So
I thought I did pretty good.
Who are some of the other top players on the team then? It can't be a one-man show.
Well, I drafted a good team.
So you're going to be a GM one day.
Sam Sedley was amazing for me, defensively and offensively. I also picked a kid with a custom glove near the end of the draft. So
that's how you know you're getting a winner right there.
I knew he was going to be a player, and he came through for me too.
When you have stitching of your own name in your glove, you know you're a player.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Just a find by me.
Now, Nolan, you're in your final year here trying to earn that pro contract. And Colby, you're in your second season. What did the two of you work on over the summer in terms of improving your game this past summer?
Yeah, it was a big thing for me. To my body, I'm supposed to have. So that was a big step for me, and it was making sure my just keep going on my skills, my skating, making sure that all just keeps getting better along with getting stronger and faster.
Now, Nolan, when you're not drafting a superb baseball team, what else did you work on this summer getting ready for this year?
For me, it's just, more of the same. Every summer you kind of go back and, you try and get a little bit better every summer. And, I think I've done that, coming as a 16-year-old and, I was scrawny and 150 pounds, just like kind of Braden Rogers is right now. And every summer I just try to get, a little bit better each year. And, whether it's watching what I eat or, doing the right things on and off the ice, those are kind of the things that I focused on during the summer.
Now, Colby, your busy off-season concluded with the C on your chest. You're the youngest. You named the youngest captain in franchise history. What were the feelings and emotions that came to you in the dressing room when Coach Walters named you the captain?
Yeah, it was a pretty special moment. It's hard to put in the words, the feeling, but it's an honor, and it's a special feeling knowing that's how the group, views me and how the coaching staff views me. And, I got such a great group of guys here, and, Cedar's my senior advisor. He's just beside me in the room, and, he helps me along the way, and I learn from him. So, and I learn from all the guys too, every single day. And, it's just a special group, and it's exciting for sure.
Now, the fans want to know at home, what was the first speech like in the dressing room? What'd you say to the group? What was some of the messages that you gave to them as they sat there and watched their captain, the 17-year-old rookie phenom that you were last year, turn into a veteran leader? Yeah,
it's just go out there and work hard. It's not going to be screaming and yelling. It's just being level and making sure we're ready for what's at hand.
And you were given the great opportunity last year. I don't know if Dale DeGray planned this or not, but you were billeting with former captain Mark Woolley. So I'm sure he's just a phone call away. I know he's in Nova Scotia now, but is he somebody that you've relied on? You sent a few messages. I'm sure you talked to him since the announcement.
Yeah, for sure. I talk to Wolves almost every other day. So I've talked to him before it and after it, and he's given me his advice and what he knows and what he's learned. And, he was a great captain for us last year, and it was, really, really beneficial to live with him and see what he does on and off the ice. And he's just a great guy, as, a great leader for that team. So it was pretty special, and it's securing knowing I'm a phone call away from him if I ever have any questions or need help with anything.
Now, Nolan, tomorrow night against the London Knights, game number 161 of your OHL career. What were some personal goals that you set aside for this season?
For me, I didn't want to, set too many expectations for myself personally, just because I feel like in the past I've done that and, maybe put a little too much pressure on myself. So no really number goals, but, for me, I came into the season basically wanting to win an OHL championship and, sign a pro contract. And, those are kind of the only two things I've been focusing on. And, I think just taking it day by day and, not getting too high, not getting too low. And, I think if we just work hard, I think we can, accomplish those.
Colby looks at you with the impressive eyes when I say 161, but you kind of had that injury-plagued season last year, and if COVID didn't, waste a year, you could have been up there in terms of career games for the Owen Sound attack.
Yeah, it would have been nice to, kind of maybe get close to the 300 mark that a lot of five-year guys get to, but like you said, obviously COVID being unfortunate, and then, having my the rough season that I had last year injury-wise, obviously that's not possible, but at the end of the day, I'm just thankful that I've been able to spend this much time in Owen Sound, and I've loved every minute of it.
Now for yourself, it's your NHL draft season. After scoring 30 goals last season, a lot of the talk around the league, especially around Owen Sound, Colby Barlow is going to put up 50 goals this year for the Owen Sound attack. What were some personal goals you set aside?
Yeah, kind of like Cedar, try not to put too much pressure on myself and take it day by day, making sure I'm taking care of my body, and my main goal here is winning, and that's what we want to do as a team and as a staff. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. I'd be lying to you if I say I'm not thinking about my NHL draft year, but it's just taking it day by day, doing the simple things, like making sure you're taking care of your D zone before first. You're not trying to score 50 goals. It'd be nice, but you just got to keep it simple and just play the game I know how to play.
Now to both of you, it's no secret to anyone when you guys are mentioned as an honorable mention at the start of the season as one of the CHL's best. Then you guys were at 8th. You guys fallen out of the list, but you're still right there. It's high expectations for this team this year. Nolan, you played on a lot of good teams in Owen Sound. You had Nick Suzuki on your team at one point, with Sean Dursey as well. So you've had good players, you've seen good teams. What do you see in this group, and what are your expectations?
Well, obviously, like you said, there's high expectations this year, and rightfully so. We have a really impressive group this year, and probably the deepest roster that I've been a part of since coming here, and that says a lot with, like the guys that you just mentioned. But I feel like the excitement in the organization is kind of the highest it's ever been since I got here. So obviously that comes with expectations, but I think that we have the group in our locker room to kind of manage the expectations and the emotions that come with them. And I think we're going to have a great year this year.
Now, before we go to the highlights of the game between last Wednesday against the Sarnia Sting, it was revealed on Saturday night your warm-up jerseys for this year. And you guys were allowed to pick nicknames to throw on the back of your jerseys. We've seen it in the MLB. Zach's a big
Players
MLB.
Weekend, yes,
You've got Players Weekends where you throw the nicknames on the back. I thought it was super cool to see. I wasn't at the game, but then I saw it on Instagram. You guys Pablo, that was kind of an obvious one, but how did you guys find out that you're able to put nicknames on the back of the jerseys, and how did you officially decide on Pablo? And I'm assuming yours was Cedar?
Mine was 6.
Oh, 6, okay.
Yep,
I didn't see it, so.
So for the fans at home, though, explain Pablo first.
Yeah.
Pablo was just kind of, I think Zener called me at first last year, and it was just kind of being like a young guy with a mustache.
Because he has
just
a sick shot.
He has a mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know, all the boys kind of pushed it, and it's funny, and I like it, so I just chose it.
That's awesome. And 6?
I don't know, it's just
self-explanatory.
what people have called me up since I got here. Yeah.
Now, next question for you guys. There was a few very funny nicknames that I personally thought. What are some of your favorites that aren't your own?
I'm a big fan of Theodore from Teddy.
Teddy.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
I think Ethan went the whole 9 yards with Big Daddy Bird.
Daddy Bird.
That's shocking and funny. But
Big Red was good for Manstein as
Yeah,
well.
that's a
I
good one.
enjoyed that one as
I
well.
like Rick too. Ricky.
Yeah,
That's just a
that's
classic.
standard.
Just a classic.
And the whole story behind that, when he first was on the team prior to the pandemic, somebody thought he was just calling him Rick, and his name is Nick.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, we'll head to the highlights between the Owen Sound Attack and the Sarnia Sting at Progressive Sales Arena.
Pappas for Barlow with a chance. Burke, Sickick waiting, that's the shot. Gained on. Gore scores. Denny Gore scores on the 2-man advantage for the Owen Sound Attack, and they open the scoring.
Yeah, still 4 seconds left in that first penalty, so the McDonnell penalty will continue here with Denny Gore, the Chatham-Kent product. Takes a pass from Gaindo and a one-timer by Ben Gaudreau at 13:07.
Mast. Burke out in front, scores. Nolan Burke on the deflection out in front of the net has tied this game 1-1.
18:54 the time of this power play goal by the Sarnia Sting, with Burke picking up his second of the season for the Peterborough native. You see Burke kind of creeping in from that left side, and then right there in good position is able to redirect the...
Boyd cross ice, quick chance there. The other way, Gore with Terracini. Out in front, chance. Fantino with a chance, and Gaudreau below the icing line. Gaindon gets there. Outlets out in front, scores. Tomislav Brennan gets the goal for the Owen Sound Attack, and he makes it a 2-1 hockey game. A big goal there as Brennan gets it for Owen Sound. Give him number 1.
8:55 the time of this goal, an even strength goal here to give the Owen Sound Attack the 2-1 lead. Sarnia Sting having some difficulty getting the puck out of their own zone, and the Owen Sound Attack right there able to capitalize after Ben Goat.
Go, pass out in front of the net, denied, still rebound in front, they score! Marcus Limpar-Lance with the goal, and the Sarnia Sting have tied it 2-2.
Limpar-Lance with his third of the year, just good tenacity by the Sarnia Sting in the offensive zone. As Boyd slides it across to Ritchie, and then Limpar-Lance able to redirect that.
Wins it back. Mast walking in. Mast shot. He scores. It may have been deflected on the way through. They celebrate with McDonnell, and the Sarnia Sting have opened up a 3-2 lead. Angus McDonnell on the deflection.
Yeah, McDonnell will lead the charge. Mast with the shot from the right point. McDonnell with the redirected 6.
There we have it, a Owen Sound Attack loss to the Sarnia Sting. Guys, first off, we saw it there on what a rip by Tomislav Brennan. What have you guys made of his play so far since his time here in Owen Sound?
I think he's been solid. You know, in camp, everybody kind of saw he had a good release and he could really shoot the puck. And what I've been impressed with him is he's just a good kid. He kind of takes care of his own zone. I feel like he's a pretty smart hockey player. And, you know, he doesn't try and do too much. He just kind of does the little things well. And like you saw there, he obviously has a pretty good release and a good shot.
Our best wishes to Tomislav, though he did leave that game Saturday night versus the Windsor Spitfires. Guys, going into last Wednesday, it was an opportunity to bounce back after those 2 losses at home against Hamilton and Mississauga. Overall, what did you make of the team performance last Wednesday?
Yeah, I mean, we battled right till the end, I think, and it was just kind of a breakdown for that last goal there that made it 3-2, and should have capitalized on a couple chances and could have went a different way, but it was a good lead up for our games and for the weekend that, you know, we did well on, so I was happy with that.
Now, it's no secret that Ben Gaudreau's on the list of Team Canada goalies that could potentially play for the World Junior team. When you go against a goalie like that, or a goalie tomorrow night in Brett Brochu, who's the OHL goalie of the year, what are some of the game plans that goes into facing a goalie of that caliber?
Yeah, you got to get in their face for sure. You got to get in the blue. You got to get in the blue paint and taking his eyes away. It's you have a pretty good shot to beat him straight up with no screen or nothing going on in front of the net. So it's really, really important that we're crashing the net and making sure we're getting second and third opportunities.
On the other side of that, you guys have a good goalie in your own net with both your goalies. Actually, Corbin's been playing very well this year, and Nick Chenard is touted as being one of the best in the OHL as well. When they're trying to get in your face, what's a defenseman's job when they're crowding the net? We saw in the last goal by the Sarnia Sting there that they had a lot of traffic in front of the net. So what do you guys need to do a little bit better in the next stretch of games?
Well, I think you said it. I mean, as a goalie, it's hard to see it, or it's hard to stop it if you can't see it, right? So, you know, playing guys like Brochu or Gaudreau, you know, you just have to try and get in front of their eyes and take their eyes away and try and get them moving side to side, and I think any time the puck goes dot to dot, it's kind of hard to stop too. So if we can just get pucks and bodies to the net and get guys in front of their eyes and, you know, get pucks moving dot to dot, I think we should have some success.
Bit of a different question for you guys now. So speaking of OHL goaltenders, who's your favorite goalie to go up against? Maybe you have some personal success in the OHL.
Throw some guys under the bus.
Wow. If you got something come to mind, you go right ahead. You know, I just got to think here for a second.
Wow.
But
I don't know, it was fun playing Goose last year.
It was. Yeah, that was definitely a blast.
I believe he made his ECHL debut.
And he got a win in it, actually. For fans at home, he started for the Charlottetown Checkers organization and got his first pro win. So congrats to Matt Guzda on that one.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. Not Gaudreau, not Brochu.
Yeah, honestly.
Well, that's
but
okay.
Them too.
Yeah.
Well,
anybody but them.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Colby, for most of the season, you've played alongside Seti and Petro, a line that was arguably the best team on the line last year, despite the 3 of you being all rookies or first-year guys. What makes it so easy playing alongside those 2?
Yeah, they're pretty special players. I mean, they're great with the puck. They know how to play without it too, and they know where to be, and you know, they're just as good as in our own zone. So it's fun playing with them, and you know, playing fast. They like to play fast, and you know, they're both drafted to the NHL, right? So they're special players, and you know, we just have a lot of fun even in practice and stuff. We're always making stuff up and learning as we go, and it's exciting for sure.
You just mentioned it right there. You're playing alongside 2 players that were drafted to the NHL. What are you talking to them off the ice about the whole process that went to Servac was able to go to the NHL Combine? So are you asking them questions as to what happened throughout their year when scouts came to talk to them?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I haven't been digging deep yet. I've just been kind of going on day by day, like I said, and try not to worry about how the combine works and stuff like that. I'm kind of focused on winning here, present, but they're definitely great sources and stuff, people to ask if I have questions and stuff, and I will ask them when the time's right for sure.
Now, Nolan, you've been paired out with a guy that proclaimed himself as Big Red, Madden Steen. What's it like playing with a guy that's so physical like that? I'm sure you've been paired up with either Igor in the past or Mark Goalie as well. What's it like playing with that physical style of defenseman?
Yeah, obviously it's just a confidence boost. You know, he's a steady player back there, and you know, he's good, reliable defenseman. He's big, he's physical, he's strong, and you know, just being paired with him, and it definitely gives you a confidence boost just knowing that, you know, you got a little bit more room out there for sure, because he just creates so much of it.
Now, Madden was a healthy scratch out a couple times last year. It was his rookie season. What growth have you seen in his game?
I think just the maturity. I think he put on about 15, 20 pounds of muscle in the summer, so he came back and he was in really good shape, and I think that probably gave him a ton of confidence, you know, coming in and, you know, having Mark gone, and he's kind of stepped into that role of being the big guy back there, and I think he's done a great job so far.
Only 2 minutes before we had to break, so an opportunity now to hand out our trivia question, a chance to win a pair of tickets for next Saturday's game versus the Guelph Storm. Adrien Mouseeau.
So it's a question that revolves around Nolan Seed right here to my right.
Don't give the answer away.
Don't give the answer away, but how many of Nolan Seed's former attack teammates are now in the NHL, and who are they? And I gotta admit, they're studs in the NHL right now as well. So you'll get tickets for Saturday, October 29th against the Guelph Storm.
Only about a minute before we have to head to break, as we mentioned. On the other side, we still have highlights versus the Kitchener Rangers and the Windsor Spitfires. We have what's in the helmet as well, but maybe before we head to break, guys, quickly, favorite rivalry in the OHL?
I gotta say London. I love playing against them. It's just a great rivalry for sure.
For me, I mean, London for sure, but I think the underdog is Kitch too. There's a lot of hate there, a lot of bad blood. You know, I kind of grew up, like, when I was 16, kind of played against the same guys since then. So for me, it's probably Kitch, but obviously I hate playing against London too, and Flint's a new one as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You had a few good battles in the playoffs last year against the Flint Firebirds. The Owen Sound Attack do go up against the London Knights tomorrow at the Bayshore. But as we mentioned, plenty of highlights, what's in the helmet, and plenty more on the other side of the break. You're watching Attack Wrap on Rogers TV.
Closed captioning is brought to you in part by Raven Reads. Unbox Indigenous voices. Subscribe today at ravenreads.org.
Game TV's turning 15, and we're celebrating by giving away money. Lots of money. Watch Game TV weeknights at 8. Spot the special code and enter at GameTVContests.com, where you'll have a chance to win cash prizes totaling over $80,000. Yes, $80,000. Don't just watch the winners, be a winner. Game TV's Watch and Win Anniversary Contest, September 12th to December 16th. Visit GameTVContests.com for more info.
Hi, I'm Sharon Skelly, host and community producer of Community Close-Up on Rogers TV. We're back in studio after about 2 years with some great programming. Join me on Community Close-Up, where we meet great people from groups and organizations around Owen Sound and Grey County. And remember, it's your community, so take part. Join us again on Rogers TV or online.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
grab Zach Scribner, Adrien Mouseeau. It's a fun episode tonight. These guys are having a few good jokes beside us. Colby Barlow and Nolan Seed of the Owen Sound Attack. Now, before we go into the highlights versus the Kitchener Rangers, for yourself, Nolan, one more homecoming game versus the Kingston Frontenacs in January. What excites you most about playing in front of fans and friends and family up there one more time?
Yeah, obviously it's exciting. Like, I've only gotten that once, or twice, I guess. So my first 2 years it happened, and third year wasn't lucky enough to have it. Fourth year wasn't lucky enough to have it, and I think just being able to go back and play in front of friends and family and being so close to home, I think that's going to be really special. And having Kingston and Ottawa back to back, I think that'll be really fun. Just quickly, do you have a team you're looking forward to playing in the East?
Looking forward to playing in the East.
Other than Barrie?
I'm honestly excited to play all of them. Get to learn the league a little bit more.
It's a very good answer. As I mentioned, the Owen Sound Attack played the Kitchener Rangers last Friday. Let's go to those highlights now.
Here we go. To Nolan Seed. Now downloaded, a shot came on, rebound banging around, and Constantini makes a huge save.
Owen Sound does well to get off the end boards. Nice initial save, and then Constantini able to square up immediately, going from his right to his left.
Colby Barlow in a battle, but nice job to get that feed out. Shot came on from Seed, and there's a goal redirected on in.
He's celebrating as if he's got it here, so on the closer inspection, there's a couple of red shirts right in front, and it is Barlow coming in with the opening marker for the Owen Sound Attack.
Owen Sound giving pressure. Here's Seed. A lot of room for Seed to work. A big drive, loose puck, and Barlow gets his second of the game.
2-goal cushion here in the first period. A slapper from the point. Constantini loses track of where the loose puck was and took a look to his right initially, and by the time he looked to his left, it was behind him.
They get it here to Humra, now to Brustevich. Brustevich waits. Brustevich drives, and it's tipped in front by Mouseeau, and it's a goal!
As the shot on and a screen in front, a double screen in front, as Swick was the tall body there too, but getting the stick on Mouseeau. Nice redirect. The low shot totals, the low scoring opportunities.
And about good scoring chances, and there's one as Pappas gets his first.
It's the Owen Sound Attack able to get position with Gore, just centering it out, and Hamara isn't able to get positioning in front of the shooter.
Help block the shot. Down low is Barlow between the legs, bouncing in. Petrovsky, he hits the post. Second chance opportunity. Barlow fires that one wide.
With the man advantage, nice opportunity and a sweet move.
Goes for Sedley. To Petrovsky, a drive. Nice job to block that one with Simon Motu. Bryant trying to set it in the slot. Shot came up, save made by Constantini. Puck is still loose and they blow it dead as Denny Gore was absolutely denied.
It's an outstanding 1v1 stop. Comes right up to the top of his crease to try and cut off as much of the angle as possible.
Serpa drops it there for Vlad. Vlad's shot, and that one went high and wide.
You expected to be veteran, you're happy to see number 55 on the bench. The Kitchener Rangers coaching staff.
Hamara shot right off the face-off, and good glove save again made by Chenard. Off the draw, and it's going to be Owen Sound that breaks it out. Here's Barlow looking for the hat trick. Barlow goes in, and he scores.
The first patty of his career.
Owen Sound Attack getting back to their winning ways. A 4-1 victory at the Odd on a Friday. It's never easy going into that building on a Friday night, Midwest Division battle. You mentioned one of your favorite rivalries. What was the key to success there for this past Friday?
Yeah, we're in a 3-game slump there, and we kind of had to get her going now and get pucks in deep, work hard, and stick to the structure and get a big win.
All the cliches reflect from the captain that night, eh?
Now, be a little less humble here. First career hat trick. After only scoring 1 goal leading up to that, did you feel a little monkey off the shoulder there coming out Friday night?
Yeah, I'm going to say the man to my left called it. He said, you need a tip in, and it's all going to work out, and that's what happened, and it was Yeah, it was a little relieving for sure, and it was pretty special to get my first hat trick.
Now we saw in that game, Nolan, that one of the OAs that you guys just brought in, Matthew Pappas, scored a goal. What's it like when you see an OA guy come in and actually contribute to the team, kind of a la the Nick Porco of last year?
Yeah, he's just an impact player. He's someone that, like I've been playing against him for a couple years now, and he's been someone that I hate to play against him. So when I saw that we made a deal to get him, I was pretty excited, and mostly because I just didn't want to play against him this year. He's hard to play against, and he's obviously shown that already with us, and he's had a couple good games already, and he's just going to get better and better too. So
5 goals and 5 assists against Nolan Sound last year with the Guelph Storm. So good move by GM Dale DeGray. It's a little bit less scoring going on for those Guelph Storm. What makes it so quick for the chemistry that he has with Denny Gore and Ethan Burrows? I was talking about this with Mark. They look like they've played together for a year and a half now.
Yeah, I think it's just he works so hard, and he likes to use his body and create space for those guys, and he likes to, he knows where to go without the puck too, which helps the whole line together. So yeah, they have been really good together, and I'm sure it's just going to keep getting better too. Now
you mentioned you entered Friday on a 3-game losing streak. You're going up against a winless Kitchener Rangers team. What was the approach this past Friday night?
Well, yeah, like you said, we knew it wasn't going to be easy. Just because it's a hard building to play in to begin with, and them having not won at that point, we knew they weren't just going to roll over for us. So, we knew we had a battle, and we knew it was going to be a war. And, I think we just did a good job coming out and initiating and dictating what the game was going to be like. And, we did just that.
Well, guys, it's time for Grey County's favorite Tuesday night game show.
Here we go.
What's in the helmet? I have a couple questions here.
You don't have a quiz this time, though. That's
no
next
quiz.
Time
No quiz. Just So I'll just refresh you guys on how this goes. I pull a question from or a statement, anything, and you guys give me the first thing that comes to your mind. Nolan, since you're the senior citizen on the team here, you'll go first, then Colby, you'll be the second. All right?
Appreciate it. Respect your elders.
Yeah, respect your elders, Colby.
Will do.
First one. Favorite hockey memory to date?
For me, probably just getting drafted. For sure.
Where were you on that day?
I was just at home with my family. Yeah, it's a pretty special day. Bright and early.
I think one of my favorite memories is winning the Brick Invitational with the Bulldogs. It's just such a fun tournament. You're in the mall and everything is going on, and it's pretty cool. It's a lot of great players and stuff, so it's fun. It was a great time.
For anybody at home that doesn't know about the Brick Tournament, it's a tournament at the West Edmonton Mall, played in front of a large amount of fans. So there's loads of NHLers that have been in that tournament. Jordan Everly's played in it, Brendan Gallagher, Jonathan Toews, a lot of players, and potentially a future NHLer right here sitting beside us won the tournament.
I'll put my house on it.
Next question. Who has the best shot on the team? And I have to say, Colby, they haven't said it hasn't
We've
been
got
a
a lot of
landslide.
Yeah, I actually was watching the show twice, I think, now, and haven't heard his name.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Barlow Colby for sure.
Barlow Colby.
Okay, for his size and everything, Braden can rip a puck.
Yeah.
He's like, what, $140?
Well, we saw
just snap it.
We saw it Friday
crazy.
against Hamilton on that solo lap.
Yeah, it's crazy.
When he didn't hit the net.
ripped
I'm just going to keep
Right
saying
off the
that. High and off the glass. That's what you're taught as a defenseman, and he did it in warm-ups. Next question. Best hands on the team?
I'm going to go with the big man, Caleb Lawrence. I think he's so smooth, and I think he's got sick hands, and for him to be that big, and he's just got so much skill, I'm going to say him.
I got to say Sam Sedley. He's pretty slithery with the puck, and let's say he is good with his hands, for sure.
Yeah, he's real
That is
nice, too.
6 of 7 votes going to Sam Sedley for best hands on the
Center,
team.
Sam Sedley.
Yeah.
Put him in a red jersey.
Next one. This one might be a good question for you guys. Your ideal golf foursome.
You're a big golfer, aren't you?
Yeah, I talked to Colby about this morning, actually. Biz Nasty,
Oh, that'd be.
Ryan Whitney, and I'm shouting my boy out, Dean Barlow, and then myself. It's my ideal.
So when Colby is invited on Spin Chicklets for a sandbagger, he's going to be inviting
Oh yeah.
Nolan Seed and
sure.
then Papa Barlow.
Diener can drive a cart.
Like my dream foursome would just be join them.
Just be the fifth.
Oh my god, that's funny.
That's awesome. Next question. If you left for the weekend and one of the players had to house sit it, who would it be?
For me, probably Ethan Burrows.
Oh,
just such a
Dad of the team.
Such a mature guy. Was raised well. Just would trust him with pretty much anything.
he's the dad of the team. Gotta go with Burr.
Yep.
The opposite end of the spectrum. Who aren't you letting come over?
Oh, jeez.
See, I got a lot. Nick Chenard. Who else?
Denny and Lawrence together.
Denny and Lawrence for sure. No. Jeez, who else?
This is a long list. See?
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Schaefer.
Actually. Schaefer, yeah,
Oh,
probably won't
he would
let
just
him.
be
Ordering
up.
skip the dishes.
just gonna
That's
be
all
a
he-
mess when you
That's all
get
he'd
back.
do.
Who's your number one on your list? Not coming into your house.
Not coming in to watch it.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're gone for the weekend. Playing golf with Biz Nasty.
And Diener.
I don't know. I'd probably say Schaefer. I feel like there'd be tons of skip everywhere.
Yeah, skip the dishes.
He lives on skip the dishes.
Skip the
ridiculous.
dishes and opening a ton of hot packs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
for real.
Next one. The smartest player on the team.
On the ice or off the ice?
Give me one of each.
Off the ice, probably Cal Ewens maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's an easy one, yeah.
And then on the ice, geez, there's a couple. I think Seds is really smart. He just knows the game so well, and he loves watching it on TV, and he's always trying to learn and stuff. So I'd say him for sure. And Lawrence, not the brightest off the ice, but on the ice, he's really smart. Just with tying guys' sticks up and creating space for himself and others. I think he's a really smart player too.
As a big guy too, that's really hard to do. And
Oh, yeah.
in the 3 games that he's played this year, it seems like he does it very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cal Ewens for sure, definitely smartest guy off the ice. He was done grade 12 when he's almost halfway done grade 10. It's pretty crazy. And then smartest guy on the ice, it's like Cedar said, Seds and Lawrence. Like Lawrence is so like smart and with little stuff like taking away guys' sticks so he can open up lanes with passes, and Seds just, like he said, knows the game inside and out. So it's those two guys are pretty smart on the ice for sure.
Got to train with Ryan O'Reilly, no big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah, that helps for sure.
learn a few things.
Last question. Player you would not want to be stuck in a car with for more than 2 hours.
Oh Lord.
Well, you've been watching. You know the common answer for this. Ricky.
Chenard. Yeah.
Rick.
I feel like it'd be funny driving with him in the car too, though.
It
Like,
would be.
I've
Just
done
get
it a
under-
few times. I'm not gonna lie.
Just get
It's-
under his skin a bit.
You
pretty
get
easy.
under his skin, and then he just loses it, and it's hilarious.
Yeah. I can't really think of anybody else for that one, honestly. But it wouldn't be too bad. I don't want to throw Nick right under the bus.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, there's no guy that you wouldn't want to.
Oh, Tino, actually.
Just say, like, when guys like get mad and stuff, it's like kind of funny at the same time. So
Yeah.
it's like certain guys you have to do certain things with in 2 hour car ride. So I mean, yeah, nobody's
That
sick.
does it for another episode of What's in the Helmet.
We do have a trivia question winner, Jim Reed, great baseball player. He won the trivia question. Nolan, Nick Suzuki, Sean Dursey, 2 good hockey players.
Very, extremely.
I believe the year before COVID, on that Eastern swing, you got to watch him play, didn't you?
Yeah, we
Team
went
went to an NHL game.
we were in Ottawa,
Yeah.
and we saw them play, Montreal play in Ottawa, and we went to their morning skate and saw Zook. And then a couple of the guys who played with him went to the game that night, and they won. He scored. So it was pretty cool, yeah.
I believe on the Eastern swing this year, I'm planning on going. You guys are going to Ottawa, and then they play St. Louis that night, I believe. So opportunity to see Kyrou, but you still keep in contact with the two of them?
Yeah, they're like I said, they're really good hockey players, but what makes them special is just how good of people they are, and you know, for them to still stay in contact with me, you know, whatever, once in a while it is pretty special, and definitely something I don't take for granted.
Now, before we go into the final highlight pack of the episode versus the Windsor Spitfires, you guys had the opportunity now to play the defending OHL champions and the defending Western Conference champions in the first 6-7 games of the season. Going up against those two, what does that do for the team moving forward?
I think for us, it's just kind of realizing that, you know, this is our year. You know, we've been talking about it for a little bit now, and you know, our main goal this year is obviously to win an OHL championship, and you know, for us doing that, we have to go through teams like Hamilton and Windsor, and obviously we didn't have the greatest outing against Hamilton, but just seeing, you know, how they kind of locked it down at the end of the game, and you know, it's something that we can, you know, take and learn from, and hopefully do the same more this season.
And Colby, for yourself, you know, second year in the league now, you go up against those strong teams. What do you take away from the two matchups?
Yeah, it's a great learning experience, right? It's you know, they're both great teams, and like you said, they lock it down, and they know how to win, right? So it's a learning experience for sure, and it's something we gotta learn as a team too, to, you know, beat those guys. And we're, like you said, we're winning this. Like, we want to win this year, and so it's good to gauge ourselves early against those guys, and you know, give us confidence. You know, we're right there, and we have the potential, and we have the, you know, expectation to do.
A very exciting game this past Saturday versus the Windsor Spitfires. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Behind his own net with it, the overager, Nolan Seed, high off the glass. It just stays in play. Here's Petrovsky over the blue line. Spinning pass, finds Gaindon with a shot. He scores! What a dish by Servac Petrovsky, and Cedric Gaindon opens the scoring. Back to Smith with a shot. It was blocked. Christopoulos kicks it free, passes it across. It was blocked by Burrows. They score. Gonna get picked up now by Julian Fantino. Gore off the bench calling for it as he starts to head towards the front of the goal. It is Seed with it. Seed coming in front of the back end. He scores! Right onto the tape of Pierre. Up the left wing side for Colton Smith. Smith delays, tries a return feed, does get it to Pierre. Pierre wraps it in front, and they score! Christopoulos finishes it off. A great pass from Oliver Pierre to set it up. Christopoulos has a pair, and the game is tied 2-2. And now Colby Barlow cuts across the neutral zone, gets to that left wing side. Barlow trying to protect the puck, swings behind the net. Here's a shot, Petrovsky scores! Quick response from the attack, Servac Petrovsky. Backhand pass to Millette for Maggio. Millette wants it back as he drives the front of the goal. He gets tied up, stuck with it. Maggio backhand scores! Gore was trying to slip around a check as he got the puck in. The attacker able to pick it up. Pappas cycles. Pierre almost had the cutoff. Here's Gore out in front. Pappas on the follow-up. Down low. Burrows lifts it. Scores! Passes it to Smith. Smith gives it to Maggio. Knocked off his stick, but right to a trailing DeAngelis. In front, scores! Maggio on the redirect. And what a match we got going tonight. These two teams are slugging it out. It's now 4-4. Barlow fires it, and it hit Petrovsky and then went off the end glass. The puck's going to come out of the zone, so the attack will flee the Windsor end and look to bring it back in. Sedley to Gaindon. Gaindon's going to rim it around. Far side, Barlow will let it go for Petrovsky. Petrovsky leaves it for Barlow. Gaindon holds. One-timer, Barlow scores! The captain, Colby Barlow, says good night. The attack win 5-4.
First game of extra time this year for the Owen Sound attack. You got open for that 1T from Seti. What did you see on the game-winning goal?
Yeah, it was entering, getting with speed, making sure we're being initiative with the puck and making our plays fast, because it's 4-on-3. You think you have a lot of time and whatnot, but you got to make sure you're on the ball and rolling. So it was just a great pass by Seti. I was over on the top of the circle, and he made a great play, and it was a good shot in.
Now, Nolan, you scored your first of the year. That you were just mentioning, you always score in the second period. So what did you see on your goalie?
Jeez, voice cracked. Yeah, I just saw Tino kind of coming up. He passed me the puck, and I didn't really expect to have that much time and space. And I think Denny driving the net kind of opened it up for me a bit, and just tried to take it downhill, and took it to the net and buried her.
Now you guys gave Windsor their first, not their first regulation loss, but another loss. So you guys get 2 points out of that. What does the team need to clean up coming up to this weekend? You guys, it was a back and forth affair. What's one of the few things that you guys need to do in order to solidify a convincing victory?
Yeah, I think for me, hockey's a game of mistakes, and usually whoever makes the least amount of mistakes is probably going to win. And I think it's just going to be minimizing those and taking care of our own end, and I think we'll be just fine against anybody in the league.
Yeah.
As mentioned before, there's lots of talent on this team. One thing maybe not clicking so much this year was the power play. You guys were 1 for 2 on Saturday night, but it seems like the special teams, it's getting there. You guys had a good power play Friday night despite not scoring. I thought the power play was really good on Saturday as well. What do you guys make of the special teams this year? Maybe one small area and then it'll really get clicking.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're getting our looks every game with the power play, and it's just about outworking the PK and wanting to score more than they want to defend. So I think we're doing a good job, as units, as getting pucks to the net and stuff. And we've been unlucky with posts and crossbars and good saves. So I think once those just kind of find their way to the back of the net, it'll get rolling.
Now, before we go to Mark McKelvey's interview with Sean Tico, it's no secret, tomorrow night, the London Knights, 1 win last season in a frustrating season series. What's the approach versus London tomorrow? We mentioned Mayu may be back. Brett Brochu, obviously a tough goalie in the net. What do you guys have to do to come out victorious?
Just got to go to war. I mean, it's a battle against those guys every single night, and like we said earlier, we got to get in Brochu's eyes, take his eyes away, and get the puck moving dot to dot and bury our opportunities against them. And we got to be pretty structured in our zone and making sure we're tracking good off the rush, and we should be good. Now
let's take an opportunity now to join Mark and Sean from Saturday night after the game versus Windsor.
The Owen Sound Attack with an overtime win here tonight at the Bay Shore as they win 5-4 over the Windsor Spitfires. Assistant coach Sean Tico joins me. And Sean, a real eventful game here tonight. It ends in jubilation. The place goes crazy on the Colby Barlow overtime goal, but a back and forth affair here tonight. From your vantage point, what did you make of tonight's effort?
Yeah, I think, coming off what we've been through this week, getting some guys back from injury and stuff and having a long road trip to Sarnia, I just can't be more happy than the compete level the guys had tonight. They came out right from the get-go. The game was fast, we played with a lot of pace, and just can't say enough good things about how we played tonight.
Well, let's talk a little bit about those, Bruce, that you got to the lineup, some key returnees, but focusing on the forwards, that line of Petrosky, Gainot, and Barlow really got going on Friday night in Kitchener. It carries over to tonight. That instant chemistry, once they were put back together, was it evident to you?
Yeah, it was real evident. And you could just kind of see when we told them that they're going to go back together, you can see the smiles on their face, and you just knew they were up to something. So we're more than excited to have those guys back together.
4 goals in 2 games for Colby Barlow after he had 1 in his first 5. I think most of us thought it's just a matter of time, but did you at any point sense any frustration coming from your captain when the goals weren't really going his way?
No chance. Colby's a special person, and you could just tell there was no uneasiness from him. He knew that eventually things will start to go for him, and once one goes in, they're all going to go in. So you can see that evidence over the last little bit with all the goals he's been putting in the net.
He's leading by example, there's no doubt about that, but when you look at your entire group, 3-game skid that gets turned around, what was the mood going into that game on Friday night against the Kitchener Rangers, a division opponent, a team you'd already beat? What was the feeling within the dressing room ahead of that one?
There's a lot of excitement. Like you said, we were getting some guys back, and we knew that the skid wasn't necessarily because of the way we played. We were missing probably 4 or 5 key guys from our lineup, and that's a tough thing in this league. So we knew that things were going to come back and be our way because we were going to play the right way every night. And it's come back our way over the last little bit.
This is a real veteran Windsor Spitfires team. A lot of players that were a part of their run to the finals last year. What does a win over a team like this do for your hockey club?
For sure. That's something that we want to get to, right? We want to make long playoff runs here, and we want to get to a championship team. So it just teaches them how to win and how to do it the right way. So tonight's a big character win for us.
As we look ahead to another busy week that is coming up, you guys have the London Knights on Wednesday night before heading on the road. Not to overlook that London game, but just looking ahead to next weekend, back-to-back games in Erie. How exciting is that early in the year to get a road trip in for the guys to get together and get that team bonding going?
For sure. This group is a special group, and I know people say that all the time, but you can tell these guys really care about each other in there, and every day in there is real fun. You know, guys get tons of laughs, and they're excited to come to the rink every day, but those trips away from home and away from the billets is always good bonding, so we're real excited to get on the road here.
All right, well, congratulations on the back-to-back win this weekend, and best of luck. 3 more Midwest Division opponents coming up this week. Good luck and enjoy the road trip.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, the Attack back in action Wednesday night, 7 p.m. puck drop as they play host to the London Knights.
On a really good interview following Saturday night's emotional win versus the Windsor Spitfires. Jumping ahead to this weekend, what are you guys looking forward to most on that bus trip to Erie?
Well, for me, it's just, road trips like Teeks was saying. It's just a really good opportunity to kind of build relationships and, make, relationships stronger. And I think anytime you're on the bus for that long with a group of guys, it's going to bring you closer. And for me, just looking forward to getting a couple good card games in, hopefully being the winner of them.
Card games or a Chell tournament, does that go on an Erie trip too?
I'm a big card guy. Sharps, Euchre, maybe put some money on the line and hopefully win.
All right, now who do you guys have? Maybe a little bit of a prediction here. Team karaoke winner for that bus trip Thursday.
Oh, I think Raj is going to kill it. I think he's going to come out of his shell and just kill it for sure.
Yeah, he's a young guy. He's still got a pretty squeaky voice, so I think he can, do some damage in that. Hopefully, maybe get him to do a little Justin Bieber song. I think that'd be pretty cute.
I was going to say, not as many rookies as last year. What did you go with last year?
Oh, what did I go with last year?
I don't know. I don't think it was great.
No, I think Mark chose it for me.
I forget what it was.
I forget what it. Is it I Want It That Way?
That's what mine was when I was.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, there we go, guys. I was gonna say we actually we're all out of time, jam-packed episode. We'll have to have you guys back, especially yourself, Nolan. Your last year here in Nolan Sound. Thank you very much. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of laughs.
Right on.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thank you very much for all those tuning in at home. We'll see you at the Bayshore tomorrow night when the Owen Sound Attack take on the London Knights. For Adrien, Colby Barlow, and Nolan Seed, I'm Zach Scribner. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you at the rink.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Monday, October 24th is Municipal Election Day in Ontario, an important election to set the post-pandemic course for our community. Turn to Rogers TV for the local results, your comprehensive coverage as the votes are counted. Tune in to find out who's heading to Municipal Council. On election night, Rogers TV leads with local.
Watching hockey just got a power play with NHL Center Ice and Super Sports Pack. With up to 37 out-of-market NHL games a week.